everybody. In this video, we're going to talk about how to add and subtract radicals. So radicals can be added or subtracted when they have the same index and the same radicand. So let's talk about what those two things are. Index is our small little number at the top right, top left of the radical. Notice on 1 and 2, we don't see a number there because it's the square root. And if the index is 2, it's generally understood that it's there and we don't have to write it. Now for 3 and 4, see that our index here is 3. So these are called the cube root. Okay, so the index has to be the same. So we have to be looking at all square roots or all cube roots or all fourth roots, something like that. And also the radicand has to be the same. So the radicand is our number that is under the radical. Okay, so if we look at number 1, we see we have a square root of 15, we have the square root of 13, and we have another square root of 15. So we can add these two, or subtract, combine these two root 15s. So this is going to be 3, and let's just rewrite it as 3 root 15 minus 7 root 15 plus 2 root 13. Okay, and so now we have 3 minus 7, so we could write it like this, 3 minus 7, and then times root 15 plus 2 root 13. So essentially we can just add or subtract the number that is being multiplied by the square root. So here 3 minus 7 would be negative 4. So our final answer would be negative 4 root 15 plus 2 root 13. All right, and let's look at number 2. Now number 2, we don't have two like radicals right off the bat, but we can simplify one of our radicals to give us like radicals. So we know we have 5 root 7, and we can't do anything else with that. But what would be nice is if we can change the square root of 63 to something root 7. So we think about factors of 63, 7 is a factor, and we could do 9 times 7. So if we do that, now we have separated this, and we can say 5 root 7 plus square root of 9 would be 3. So this would be 3 root 7, and now we can go ahead and add 5 and 3. So our final answer would be 8 root 7. All right, so now let's take a look at some examples with cube root. So for number 3, notice we have the cube root of 2x for both of these terms. So all we have to do is go ahead and add 4 plus 5. So our answer would just be 9 cube root of 2x. And yes, it is that simple. Now for number 4, it's not that simple because notice our radicands are 128t and 2t. So those obviously are not the same, but can we rewrite 128 as something times 2? And yes, we can. That would be 64, which is helpful for us because the cube root of 64 is a perfect cube. It is 4. So now we could write number 4 as 6 times the cube root of, and let's do 64 times 2t minus 2 times the cube root of 2t. And now we have 6 times the cube root of 64. We can pull outside the radical. Cube root of 64 is 4 times the cube root of 2t minus 2 times the cube root of 2t. Now 6 times 4, that's 24 times the cube root of 2t minus 2 times the cube root of 2t. Okay, and now we have the same radicand. We have the cube root of 2t, so now we can do 24 minus 2. So our final answer would be 22 cube root of 2t. And that is how you add and subtract radicals.